What is up, guys? So today I'm gonna talk about the triangle: perception, role, and motivation. So now those three words, aspect, they actually show how it works in a way. That we see things, that we have motivation, and we kind of mash them into our relationship with the thing. So we will establish some kind of role. So very basic way, just you see a glass, you have the perception, you have the motivation to drink the water, and now you incorporate the role, and the role is more like a relationship with the glass, and now you take the glass, water. That's a very basic way to illustrate it, but it really happens at three levels. So perception is actually at the top. That's how I illustrated, it's kind of the top. Perception at the top. The role is in the middle. And motivation is at the bottom. It's kind of the source in a way. So they are very fundamental. Even in OPS, you can, like say, KTI has some kind of perception about reality, Well, everything is logical, like in the perception. The role is more like identity, it's more human needs like. Motivation is like, I guess it's really happened at those three levels. That it really help you kind of see, okay, that's how TI manifests, it's manifest in perception. How I divide stuff in reality, how I make sense of it. Motivation, being motivated to actually do the logicking, the identity, now that with the TI, and the role, okay, I see myself as a TI, unconsciously or consciously, and you do your thing, So they're really important. It's very practical actually. And yeah, so perception, I've talked about it in some videos, with the top down, bottom up. And perception, sleep is at the top in a way. So, and it's actually, in decider, it's more NT at the top and SF at the bottom. And observation is more like NF at the top instead of bottom. But universally, the perception is more NT at the top and SF at the bottom. And play and sleep. So it's DI and OI and NT. I write it badly, but NT. At the bottom it's SF and OED. In perception, that's how it works actually. The laws at the top, the NT, without the intuitive patterns and all that, and our perception, and kind of the source in our perception is really like our identity and what we know. And what will diverse in the world is seeing the multiplicity of things in our vision scope, in a way. So it will be multiplicity in OE and DE. And unity is more like DI and OI. Our source, it's like our source, starting with the point of the triangle, now going out with the multiplicity of the OE and the DE. Yeah, so the top is more like the source, and the play is more like medium, and sleep is more like the source. Or introvert is more like the source, and the extrovert is more like the medium, how we interact with the world and all that. So yeah, so role is actually different. Role is actually our type. Universally it's like that, and decider, like I said, I guess I can observer, it's more like NF, ST if you can see. So the role is more like our type, so meets FI and SI, so it would be at the top. and at the bottom it's the NT for me, which is kind of a contradiction in a way. So oftentimes the delta have a more contradiction than the perception, but there's always something with the quadrant. That's what is interesting. It's like if you make something there's something that you're closer to a universality, because what I'm talking about is more like universality, how to illustrate it, and we have kind of different in our relative mind, relative quadra. We have things that align with something universal. Universal meaning more like a collective intelligence matching up with the reality in some fashion. It's more an alignment fashion. It's not really reality per se. It's more like going beyond reality and aligning with that kind of thing, which will be about reality, but a little bit kind of beyond it in a way. That's kind of complicated. I don't know. I shouldn't have started to talk about that, but whatever. So in role is over type, and perception is more NTSF, and the source in the medium. Motivation is more. It's actually OI and DE at the top. It's more like the common purpose of our motivation is a plan for everyone, unifying narrative, and DE, like I said, for everyone. And the bottom is more like my desires about a lot of things, So it's OE and DI. And I'll illustrate it with the dimension of life. I'm not so sure, but I do think it's maybe more something NF and, well, I'm actually not sure if it's NF at the top or NT, and I'm not so sure about that. I think it makes sense that it's NF in motivation. So that's kind of, so I kind of put that NF, NST, but that's the part that I'm still not sure if it's right. I'm still wondering about that, but yeah. But I do think that it makes more sense that it's NF, like the motivation to kind of aligning spirit at the top, kind of align our motivation, to kind of the vibe, let's say, of the culture in a way. And the bottom is more like a bunch of stuff that we do, that we all ourselves do in the multiplicity of things. So I don't think that it's right, but maybe it's NT. So I'm not sure if it's NT SF. Maybe you guys can help me about that. So, like, I think the functions are more instincts, that over time is more something instincts. And instincts, in my sense, they align with motivation, but they align with perception in role 2. But there's a closer bottom kind of aspect that the motivation have, because, like I said, motivation is at the bottom. But I think that they operate at each level. That they do happen at each level, but the connection, like direct connection, I think that the instincts are at the bottom, but they also happen at the top. That's what is kind of mind blowing in a way. That the instincts happen at the top and they happen at the bottom, and they squeeze in the middle. It would make some kind of role, So it kind of manifests in perception, See that the eye is the extension of the brain. That the perception is matched very well with the motivation aspect, and that will create the squeeze in the middle that I associate with the role. So maybe that's it for that. I will do another video to maybe explain that better with the universal and objective. I feel like this video is hard to understand without talking about that. So I think I will share this one, the objective and universal, and all that, before this one. And you will see this one after that one. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.